Hello and welcome to another edition of True Audiofiles. I'm Jim Carter. So, in this episode, I'm going to kind of go over how to clean records, or how I clean records. I would love to maybe hear your take to see if you do it any little differently than I do. I'm guessing you might, and you probably do, but I'd love to hear your take on it. So, this is my record cleaning machine. It's a VPI, vacuum cleaner. Basically has a little nozzle here that has felt, or for lack of a better term, lips that suck all the water out and dirt and dust that you get on it. And I'm going to show you the two methods that I use for cleaning records, and a lot of it's going to be very dependent on how dirty the record is and sometimes how old the record is too. So I'm going to start off. This is a record I got a few weeks ago. This is John Coltrane live at the Village Vanguard again. And I'm going to clean this for the first time. I think every record, I should probably start off by saying, I think every record should be cleaned. Even ones that come directly as a new release from the factory, because they have mold release powders and things like that on them, and you want to get all that stuff off, because any kind of little dirt or debris or dust that's in that groove, you're going to hear it when that needle goes across it. So you want to make sure that you have as little bit of that kind of thing inside of the groove as possible. So there are two ways that I think are the best options. Now, I used to have what's called a spin clean, and I could probably show a picture of it here to show you what it kind of looks like. And that one is a wet style, which you kind of scrub it and then dry it off, and that does a really good job. I found that this definitely does a better job, because not only does it get wet and you kind of scrub it, if you will, but it also sucks all of that stuff off instead of just wiping it off of the record. The next level up, which I have not personally tried in the sense of personally trying to clean a record that way, but I've had them done for me, is through the ultrasonic cleaners, where there's actually a vibration at a certain frequency that vibrates the record, that basically vibrates that dust and dirt and gunk off of the record. So I'm going to talk about just the wet vacuum process in this particular episode. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the video, and we'll see what happens, and I'm going to put in more of a close-up on the record itself so you can get a better idea and see what I actually do here. So here we go. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the record here. I have to put a little spindle on it that kind of holds the record in place. And this is for my 45s whenever I do 45s, and there's a special adapter vacuum piece for one of those as well. So I want to start off by saying my standard process that I do, I have a diluted basically thing where I use this cleaner here, L'Art de Son. It's a concentrate that you put in with some distilled water being the very key to this. And I put it into a bottle here that I then spray or put onto the record to clean. This is my simple process for records that aren't necessarily all that dirty, especially like new releases. So basically do this, let the record spin, and then I put just a little bit on the record. You have to excuse me, I'm a little bit out of position here from what I normally do when I clean these for camera angle purposes, but then you basically just take a brush and spread the liquid around. I start by going kind of this angle, and then I switch up the angle like this. And I do this mainly just to make sure that the liquid goes into all the grooves on the record and there's not one spot missing. Go back around like this, move the vacuum tube into place, and then start vacuuming. I also bush the brush around quite a bit, as you can see, to help scrub the record a little bit. And you you basically just suck it clean until all the residue, all the water is taken off of it. And it's hard to probably tell on the video here, but the record is definitely much cleaner than it was when it came in, as you can see. So then I just kind of flip it and do the same thing on the second side. So I just repeat that process, on both sides. I just did this on side 2. I didn't think you needed to see what I did again because I think it's just overkill. So that's what I do on records that look pretty clean already and just kind of need a little bit of a surface cleanup. And then what I do after I've done that is I actually get a clean record sleeve. So my battery ran out, so this might look a little bit different. I don't know. We'll find out during editing. So basically, after I take the spindle off, I take a clean sleeve. Like you see here, I use the MoFi inner sleeves, but you definitely want a clean sleeve. You don't want to use the old sleeve that's in there because you're just going to put that dirt back on there. So just take the record out, make sure not to touch the actual grooves, and stick it in and put it back into the sleeve. So, and that's really the process for the simple straight ahead cleanings that I do. Now, something that is really dirty, or if I've played it and it sounds like it's got some dirt or things stuck into it, I actually have a 4-step process that I use, which I have right here. It's from a company called Audio Intelligent Vinyl Solutions. So they technically have a 3-step process, which there's enzyme solution that you see here. Then there's the super cleaner formula, which actually I think has a little bit of rubbing alcohol in it too, and you can see step 2. They have a version of this without the alcohol though if you want to use it. And then you do the ultra pure wash, which is right here. And that is step 3. So, but I take it a step further because they have one other enzyme formula, which is right here. Record cleaner number 15, I think they call it. Yeah. And I use that because that's a second enzyme formula, which helps get even more different types of dirt and grime out of the record. So basically what you do is you each enzyme formula, you just let it set on the record after you've spread it out for about 3 minutes and then vacuum it up. So this whole process takes, probably about 10 minutes a side. So I tend not to do it unless it's a really valuable record I have that has some deep down dirt in it, or just in general something that's really dirty. I typically try to avoid that at all costs just because of the cost involved, obviously, and then the time. So, but that's what I do when I clean my records. I would love to hear what you do. See if you clean your records at all, and if you don't, maybe think about starting. But I want to hear your take. What do you do to clean your records to make sure that they have the best possible sound quality they can when you hit that needle to the groove? So if you liked what you see, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And you can hit the alert button to let me know, or I should say let you know, when I release a new video. So thank you much for your time, and you have a great day.